Welcome to Sharpshooting with Sean Ellis, where the ball never stops bouncing. We're talking hoops, hustle, and everything in between, breaking down the games as they happen on the basketball floor. Let's break into our first segment of the night. We got live at 7. We have BNO versus Team Vibes, 102 to 77. Two teams going in two different directions. BNO is now 2-2. They're going on up and up. After a slow start to the season, you can really see their potential right now. And it starts with Dylan Spriggins. Dylan's slowly working his way into being into the MVP conversation right now. He had 49 points on 21 to 31 shooting. Get this, 16 to 17 from two and 5 of 14 from three. Outstanding work by him. Absolutely outstanding work by him. And then he got a lot of help this game because my guy Enrique had his best game of the season as well with 31 points and 22 rebounds. A very dominant performance. And in any other game, that would have been easily the best game of the season or the week, easily 31 and 22. But I can't say that he outplayed his teammate, who, like I said, right now is an MVP candidate because he had 49 points or 16 to 17 shooting from two. Crazy game for him. With that being said, like I said, team vibes kind of going in a different direction, but they have a lot of season left to kind of get those things fixed. And we'll see as the season goes on. But only halfway through the season, they got plenty of time to really work those things out. Now we got light work versus God options. Ended up being a pretty good game. 111 to 103. No, a lot of those guys at light work, they were going to play in the tournament, the Vegas tournament this weekend. So I think their focus may have been someone else coming into this game, but they really, really, really kind of bottled down and really kind of did what they needed to do to kind of get this win. Now, with that being said, Trey had a pretty good game again. He played pretty well, but Suge led all scores with 22 points and 9 to 17 shooting. Mike had, he had 21 points and 5 rebounds. Terry chipped in. Terry had his best game of the season, man. Terry Johnson with 20 points on a very efficient 9 of 12 shooting. But it really, really came down. Got options pulled out, 48 rebounds, really kept them in the game. But it just, like Rick just had a really well-balanced attack. They did everything that they had to do to kind of win this game down the stretch. And at the end of the day, got options. They just kind of a little disjointed. They got talent, obviously, because, the guy who led everybody in scoring was Jeff. Jeff had 33 points on 13 to 23 shooting. But unfortunately, they just they're a little disjointed. You saw them kind of get very lackadaisical on defense. They really didn't lock in like I really felt like they really could have this game. But overall, though, they play really well. And I will say that I've been giving Trey a hard time all season about his rebounding. I've been saying he's been around 6, 7, 8 rebounds. And I'm like, dude need to be a double-digit rebounding guy. He went and got 24 rebounds. He came to play this game. But unfortunately, like I said, the 30 points and 24 rebounds he pulled down wasn't enough. And that tell you how good they are. Because Jeff had 33, Trey had 30 and 24. And Lightwork still walked away with this game. So that tells you how good they really, really are right now at 3-1, especially coming off a loss and going to the Vegas tournament this weekend. Now, maybe in the game of the night, we had All There versus Hollywood. And I said this will be a close one. I actually picked All There to win this game. And they ended up losing by 1. Shout out to Hollywood because they really fought to get themselves back into the standings and kind of get through the midway point, kind of get themselves back to the kind of the middle of the pack. So they did really good. They trailed a good portion of this game, was able to kind of get back in it, took the lead, and it really came down to one possession with the game tied, and Shaq gets fouled with a few seconds left, was able to go up there and knock down one free throw. But again, Scooter is kind of led by him, 23 points on 6 of 9 shooting. Very efficient, man. He only took 9 shots, made 6 of them. I tell you how efficient he was. He only took 1 3, made that 1 3, had 14 free throws, made 10 of them. So, again, well-rounded game for him. Q, again, very, very efficient, 12 points, 5 of 8 shooting. That's kind of going to be his stat line. He's always going to be between 12 to 15 points, going to get 8 to 9 rebounds. He's just going to be efficient like that. Shaq played well down the stretch. He had 15 points, come off a 31-point game he had last week. But I think he'll take those 15 points with a win that he had this week. And for, All There, it all comes down to Jarvis. He's the man. He had 33 points on 10 of 19 shooting, 5 of 10 from 3. Got fouled at the 3-point line, down 3, if I'm not mistaken. And went up there and made all 3 free throws to tie the game up to make it 68-68. He's just been he's been amazing so far this season. But unfortunately, he couldn't do enough to kind of propel them to a win. Going into our overall game of the night, we had Cellulose versus Hip Hop and Roll. Now, Cellulose, this was not only was this game of the night, this is a candidate for game of the season so far. Like I said, it went to 3 overtime for us to decide this game. That's how crucial this game was, and they snapped Lightwork's winning streak last week, and they're coming in playing the champion before Lightwork, the last team to beat Lightwork this week in Hip Hop and Roll. Cellulose is for real. They found a way through 3 overtimes to win this game. Now, it didn't come with Ivy, Ibrahim, but they call him Ivy. He is legit, guys. He had 29 points, 11 for 23 shooting, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. He really led hip hop. And truth be told, Chase goes down early. Like midway through the second quarter, he goes down where he's kind of pulling on his Achilles. They go ahead and pull him out, and Ivy kind of took over the game. And, the rest of those guys, Mitch, who ended up having 26 points, Jay Drew, who hit some big threes in overtime, they kind of had to figure out a way to win this game with so much on the line. And it really felt like a playoff game. It did. It was like 2 heavyweights going blow for blow. And it was only going to be one winner. But from what I saw, these guys will probably see each other again. And I can definitely see the holes in both teams that both teams feel like they probably can exploit in each other. And it's going to be a real test. It's going to be a real test seeing these guys play each other again later on. And I can't wait to see that, actually, if they do play each other, which I think they will. They're going to have to see each other again, no doubt about it. But, again, shout out to Sellers because they really kind of had to dig deep and figure out a way to kind of pull this game out. And, look, they beat what we'll call our 2 champions, our top 2 teams, back-to-back weeks. And they really passed tests. They actually beat Lightwork, who is a defending champion, a little bit easier than they beat Hip Hop and Roll. It's gonna be very interesting coming out in this stretch here. But like I said, again, this is all about matchups. This is all about what means the most to these guys. And I think they may came into this matchup with hip hop, maybe not as inspired, but definitely inspired. And that's why you maybe saw them play a little bit better against Lightwork, but they played exceptionally well against hip hop, and hip hop really pushed them. Like I said, it took 3 overtimes to kind of get them figured out, but they did it, and man, I can't wait to see these guys play again. So, with all that being said, let's get into our player of the week. For week 3, it was Chase. Like I said, I put in my personal vote. I said I thought it was Josh with the 20 points, 13 rebounds, and the great win over Lightwork for Cellulose, but actually Chase for Hip Hop and Roll for the 33 points, 6 rebounds on 6% shooting. He gets our player of the week after Trey. Dry won player of the week the first 2 weeks. So let's shout out to Chase with an awesome game. Now, let's get to the picks. All right. So we got our 7 o'clock game. We got B&O versus All There. Definitely gonna go with B&O here. I think All There is getting there. But like I said, if they have the roster attendance, I think they will have this week. I think it'll be a good game. So I'm gonna give B&O the edge though, because they look really good their last 2 games. I think they really like this winning thing. This winning thing is it's left a pretty good taste in their mouth. So I'm gonna go B&O here. 84-78. Dylan's has 2 huge games back to back, and I don't expect anything different this week. So really it's going to kind of come down to can Jarvis control the game, keep it close long enough to where they can make a move towards the end. But I'm going to go B&O at 84-78. Second game, Hip Hop and Roll versus God Options. God Options, again, the team started fast, started off 2-0. Last couple games, like I said, been a little disjointed. The defensive effort hasn't been there. So I'm going to kind of go here. Hip Hop, of course, even though lost last week, they look really good. They look exceptional. And I think if Chase plays, or if he's not too injured, I think they'll still be all right. So I'm going to go with Hip Hop and Roll here, 86-80. And we'll see. Look, you're going to have to get MVP Trey. Now, I don't know if Hip Hop can survive Trey going for 30 and 24 like Lightwork can. If Trey has another big game like that, Joe shoots the hell out of the ball, and they kind of have all the pieces kind of fit the way they're supposed to fit. Yeah, I definitely see Hip Hop here, 86-80. But we'll see. Cellulose Team Vibes. As much as I want to cheer for Team Vibes, this is going to be very difficult for them to kind of pull out a win against Cellulose, an extremely high team. playing at an extremely high level, beating everybody, beating all the top teams, going 4-0 right now, and just team vibes. Not sure what direction they can really go to really maybe push Cellulose to where they probably need to be to get a win. I think it'll be a lot more competitive than what everybody else thinks because, Team Vibes got some guys who can score. So I think it'll be a lot more competitive than what you guys think, but definitely going to go Cellulose here, 89-80. Especially coming off those two big wins. I think they'll come in here. Hopefully they got their mind right. If they'll come in with their mind right, it's the classic trap game. You're kind of coming off a really big win, two really big wins against two really good teams, and then you play a team that you feel like is like not on your level, and then they come out there and kick your butt. Been a part of it as a player and as a coach. I hate these kind of games. But, so they have to be very careful, but I'm still going to pick them 89-80 here. And then with the 10 o'clock game, we have Light Work versus Hollywood. I think it potential to be a really good game. Those Light Work guys are coming off a long weekend. Some of the players playing in Vegas. So, 3 days rest for them, which, it should be enough. But, depending on where their mind is coming into this game, I can see definitely Hollywood sneaking and getting a win against them. But I am going to pick Light Work here in a close game, actually. I think it's going to be a really close game, 89-87. Potentially be the best game of the night. And look, this is big for Hollywood because Hollywood wins. They actually jump Light Work in the standings. So Hollywood with a win could possibly jump into the top 3 with a win. So I definitely look at this situation where a statement game for Hollywood, without a doubt. All right, so we usually end it right there, but I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some mid-season grades. Through 4 games, we got options. I'm actually gonna get them a B. If the infighting ceases, there'll be a problem, especially with the way Trey's playing right now. I mean, he's part of it too. Like, he can't be out there barking with his teammates. So, yeah, I think if the infighting ceases, there'll definitely be a problem. So I'm gonna go with got options with a B. Hip Hop and Roll, give them a C+. They're not quite where they want to be, I don't think yet, but they are getting a lot closer week by week. They're actually getting better. What I saw in week 1 and what I'm seeing even in a loss last week, they're very close. They're very close to, I think, where they want to be at. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a C+, though, because I think they know where they can go. They know what levels they can go. And I think they know they're not quite there yet. So I'm going to give them a C+. B&O, after a very slow start, they're starting to kind of feel the league out a little bit. And like I said, I think Dylan's having like a slowly kind of approaching MVP status. And then, like I said, you got Cam, who really is looking like maybe the newcomer of the year as well. So they have some pieces. They definitely have some pieces. And I'm gonna probably give them a B-. They're getting there, like I say, but they're not quite there yet. But I think they are kind of happy with where they are right now compared to where they started. Sailors, for the first time ever, for me, I'm gonna give them an A+. Season couldn't have started any better for them. Well-rounded team. Like I said, Mitch is playing well. J. Drew, I mean, they're good, man. They're flat. Khalid, Mateen, they're good. They're really good. And like I said, after 2 big wins they have, and then they took care of business the first 2 weeks against opposition that wasn't as good. I mean, what can I say? They're doing what they're supposed to do. I wanted to give them an A, but when I look at like kind of the season in totality right now through 4 games, I'm gonna give them a strong A+, man. This is the first time I ever graded anybody an A+ through 4 games ever. So shout out to them. But Cellulose, A+, all there. Considering everything that's happened, I think they put some really good games together, and I think they put some really close games together. So I'm gonna give them a B, considering where they were or what they were expected to be. I'm gonna give them a B. Just the recent resurgence pulled them right in the middle of the pack, I believe, and then with a win this week, they are gonna be right in the middle of the pack. So they're not too far off. Light Work, I'm gonna give them a strong B+. When everything's clicking, they're the scariest team still. When everything's going right, they are the scariest team still. They have a good mix of everything: offense, defense, size, speed, everything. So when everything's going right, they are still our scariest team. But they know that they're not where they need to be. They know what it takes to win championship, and I think they know that over the next couple of weeks they have to do the things to make sure they get there. So Light Work, B+. Hollywood, I'm gonna give them a B minus. They've kind of been up and down. One week they look really good. One week they look really, So they've kind of been a little bit all over the place. But again, when they figure out a way to kind of put it all together, they do look pretty good. So I'm gonna give them a strong B minus. Even though again, even with them, I know they could be a lot better. And last but not least, we got our guys, Team Vibes. F, okay? I don't often give out F's, but my guy Rio can score with the best of them in the league. But again, just haven't put a total team game together. Haven't been close to putting a total team game together. And like I said, they play by quarters. They play a really good first quarter, then they have a terrible second and third quarter. Then they show up again in the fourth quarter. So until I can see them put really a game together, um, yeah, they're gonna give them an F. And none of their games have really been really competitive for the whole four quarters. So until they could kind of put a whole game together, I'm gonna give them an F. But with all that being said, it is halfway through the season. I would say my MVP candidates, but I'll hold on to that. I'll wait for that till the end of the year. All right. Well, live here from an undisclosed area. I'm Sean Ellis. We're out.